I like that part of this conversation includes not just how you make money from what you do, but how you can get money to help you make money with what you do. And of course, I'm glad to be moderating this panel on how creators can access capital, credit, and investment to scale. So I'd like probably, I will ask the first question. You'll start, of course, by reintroducing yourself, and then you can jump to it. I think I'm going to start with Kenneth Morioki. You're from Hiva Fund. How does Hiva Fund finance creative enterprise, and what is the typical loan size, interest rate, and repayment period? Tumeenda direct. Tunataka kujua. Immediately. Hakuna dilly-dallying.
Yeah, thank you, Martin. My name is Kenneth Morioki, credit officer at Hiva Fund. Hiva Fund is a financial institution that caters only to creatives. You can say, ideally creatives. So we cater to creatives by providing funding either through loans or grants. Typically, currently through our Sanara, we're calling it the Sanara program. That is, this Sanara means it's a combination of two words, Sana and Biashara. So Sanara program supports creatives through grants, particularly grants to young women, that is creatives, young women under 35, you can qualify for a grant. Loans are open to all creatives. You don't have to have gone through any kind of program, through kind of a training. By the time you're coming for a loan, we are assuming you know what you want. You are ready for the next step. So the maximum ticket sizes for a loan is 20 million. The repayment period for that is the maximum is 36 months, that is 3 years. And interest rate is 9% per annum.
Wewe wacha. Mbona tunajua hizi vitu sahi? Umulikuwa wapi? Mbona hamsemi hizi vitu mapema? Hata nimekach. Kwanza vile, wacha tu ninyamaze. Wacha nisiseme mingi sana. All right, to you, Michael. Unasikia kuna mtu hapo anatupatia interest ya msanii at 9%. But please tell us, what products does NCBA offer specifically for creators, and how do they differ from traditional SME lending?
Thank you. My name is Michael Owino, a senior manager at NCBA, taking care of commercial and SMEs. And it's a pleasure that we are having this conversation this afternoon. Through our partnership with HEVA, we've been able to develop financial solutions that are tailor-made towards sorting out the creatives. And basically, we are looking at products that match the tenor of the gigs that we undertake as creatives, but more importantly, matching the cash flows as they come in. So we don't offer the traditional loans that we know about. So NCBA, through its innovative hub and through our partnership, we're able to actually tailor-made products specifically for the creatives. So on our shelf today, we're able to offer funding for purposes of financing events. And that is why perhaps some of you have been able to see some advert on social media talking about event financing. But other than that, we also realize that within the creative space, we have guys who are talented in the music production space. So for those customers, we're able to give them credit against the invoices that they hold through what we call invoice discounting. At times, you'll also get creatives who want to undertake a certain job, and they don't have the liquidity, they don't have the money for them to be able to do that job. And as such, we're able to finance them against either the contract or the LPO. So they'll give us the LPO, then we'll be able to advance credit against that LPO. But more importantly, is for any creative, we don't look at creative as a passion-driven work, but rather we look at creative as a business in itself. As such, any business will require some working capital need, either for you to be able to pay either rent or pay utilities or pay salaries. or do some basic market distribution. So we're able to avail a working capital financing for you to be able to meet that particular need. But more importantly, and I think this is the first in the market, we've come up with what we are calling a startup incubator financing, where we are looking at guys who have just come from college and they want to start and they want to venture into the creative space, but they don't have the capital and they don't have any history. And as such, we're able to avail to them a startup incubator financing that will help them to be able to start up based on a business plan that they have that can be able to demonstrate that this is a bankable solution, and more importantly, there is opportunity for them to be able to grow and scale whatever gig that they are taking. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Just for clarity, you said that you're working in collaboration with Have a Fund. Is it in particular to that loan that he was referring to, or there are other products?
Thank you. So in terms of collaboration with the Heva, cuts across. So all the products that I've mentioned, cutting across from event financing, invoice discounting, LPO financing, contract financing, and startup incubator, we've been able to do all that in collaboration with Heva. So we've basically co-developed, because we realized that Heva have a strength. They've been in this space for more than 13 years. As bankers, we don't understand creative in detail, and that is why we said perhaps there is merit in us partnering with someone who has been in this space. So Heva might not have the financial muscle that NCBA has. Yeah, so through this collaboration, through this partnership, that is how we've been able to come up with these tailor-made specific solutions for the creatives.
Nyandia, I know your panel was okay. Maureen, I know you're going to have an awesome panel, but this might be the most important panel of the year. For pigeni makofi tafadhali. Especially when it comes to credit facilities for individuals in the creative space. I believe, I have no idea why I'm just hearing this now, yet I have been looking for such. But tuseme ndio nimeanza. Lakini sasa Maureen, unataka kuniambia nafaa kuanza kuprepare tayari kumaliza safari yangu na ndio nimeanza. So why should a creator in their 20s or 30s care about pensions, and what products do you offer for self-employed creatives?
Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Maureen Kivuti. I must say, unanifurahisha, they go in live. So big up yourself, my brother. It's really nice to be here. I'm very much pleased and humbled to be here. I am here today to represent the Pensions Club International. My organization is called the Great CPF Group. Why the Great CPF Group? Because we're the biggest pension administrator in Eastern Central Africa. So, once upon a time, I never thought about pension. I mean, I'm young, but I just realized that every single day you get old. Every single minute. I mean, how you were yesterday is not the same way that you are today. And when you talk about pension to creatives or even young people, inakuwa challenge. But at our organization, aside from talking about pension, a club. I'm sure most of us have been into a club, a normal club, whether in your church, when you're in Ndanga Dunda, hapo. And a club is a place, an environment, or a space that gives you an opportunity to explore. So at the Pensions Club International or at the CPF Group, we have things, we have a subsidiary known as the SIPFM, where we give you an opportunity for you to grow that little money that you have. So as little as 5,000, as little as 2,000, as little as 1,000, we just give an opportunity to creatives and young people to learn about certain things. I was just telling the guys who visited our booth, I'm a millennial, and during our time, we never used to be so big on social media. We never used to have the TikToks, the Snapchats, but we only had Facebook and Viber, and those things that we used to try. We used to have things like Sakata. People used to dance, sweat, but we could not show ourselves to the world because tech haikukuwa imefika hiyo time. So what we do at the Pensions Club International is we give you a space, an opportunity where you tap into how you can make that funding, all right? And also, once you make that funding, How are you going to deal with it? And minus that, there's something we call lifestyle planning. All right? We've seen certain stories in our country where somebody was very great, they did very well, they got millions of money, they were the face of everything, and then come now, they have to call, they have to look for people to support them. You have to go and take them from the streets and call upon Kenyans to probably take them to a rehab and something of the sort. You know why that happens? Because you did not do early lifestyle planning. And that early lifestyle planning is what is called pension. So when you hear the word pension, don't take it as you're NSSF unachukua nikiwa mzee. It starts now. For the creatives who are self-employed or you're employed, saving or planning your lifestyle begins the moment that you start your job. And that is why you always see, I'm not racist, but you always see wazungu and white people just come to Africa to enjoy themselves. You know why? They planned early. You always see scammers wakikimbilia masponsore juu wako na do. Hiyo do ni ya nini? Ni hiyo pension yenye walianza kutoka ile siku yenye waliingia kwa kile wanafanya. So even as creatives, you have to do something that is called lifestyle planning. And in our organization, we teach you how. We help you to tap into, and the club, leave alone the club izo za dunda, it's only 18 and above. For us, we start from an early age. So we talk to the children in school, we tell them about planning, and we make it fun. We don't make it, sorry, you saw me coming down like an old person. But I didn't come down like that because I'm old. It's just kidogo challenging, but it starts from pale shuleni. We start with the small kids. Of course, we don't tell them about, oh, money, but that 100 shilling, you ask them, oh, hi, I'll give you 100 shillings. How are you going to spend it? Did you save? Did you finish all of it, or you kept some 10 shillings? We move from there. We go to these guys who have a dole. Then they just call home. Nataka mwalimu apeane simu, hello, pocket money imeisha. But we need to give them literacy on how to handle finances. We move from there, we come to the campus people. Campus people wanajuanga tu ni sherehe, unataka watu wajue ndio mzito, but what are you doing? Because the time will elapse. What are you doing after that? And that's why I was telling people, back in the day when we were in school, we used to see people who used to come and do set books. And you're like, wow, when I live here, when I'm 21, I'll buy a car, I'll have a house, I'll be married, I'll be like that person. But we want to get out that delusional part and bring it to reality. So basically, the Pensions Club International is just a platform for you to plug into what suits you best as a creative, as an individual, as a community, and basically that is what we do. Thank you. All
right, cool. So, of course, one of the challenges that creatives go through is quote-unquote lifestyle pressure, you know, that makes one not plan, you know, not have the lifestyle planning at the very end. And of course, you have personality issues to contend with. So, pale Heva Fund, wacha turudi hapo. Hapo ndio nataka kufinye sana. So, mimi nikikuja tu hivi, niseme I am a creator, ninaweza pewa loan, si ndio? Ama how does a creator, you know, show, what do they need to show to qualify for a loan, and how do you assess them?
So it usually depends on the creative. There are various creatives, and maybe they're in fashion, maybe they're in film and TV, maybe they do comedy, maybe they do music. So it really depends on what the creative does. So ideally, what you must show is you are making money, that you are earning revenues from your art. So first, you need to separate your art. Sometimes you see it is very difficult for creatives to separate the art and the business side. So if you can show that you're clearly making revenues from your creative enterprise, we can have a serious conversation.
So you just need to show that you're making revenues.
Serious revenue.
That is it. Na nitapewa loan at 9%. Yes, please. Yes, thank you very much. Define serious. Define serious. How can you seriously demonstrate that you're serious in your work? And your, well, revenues you can show bank statements, no problem. But how can you show you're serious with your work?
you are separating your individual incomes. That is, the money you are getting from your art is not mixing in the same pot as your personal finances.
But I am the art. See, in most cases, unapata anyway, but
Yes.
I do understand what you mean, yeah.
In order to qualify, really qualify for a facility, we should not be, ideally you should have a separate account for your art and a separate account for your personal finances, so that these accounts are well defined, that I'm having these contracts for this kind of creative enterprise that I'm in. This is where the money comes in through. These are my expenditures. Once we see clearly that this has been done in an organized manner, we usually have conversations. That is between creative, sometimes have teams, between the creative team and or the individual. Yes.
Okay, all right. Back to you, Michael. I think I remember the first time I ever took a bank facility loan, nasiongee kuhusu now the Mshwari's, the mobile app loans, was when I was seeing a car that I needed to use for my content creation business back in 2020. And I was so scared by the idea of getting a loan from the bank, because kitu nasikiaga na kuchukua loan ni kuchotwa. Hiyo tu ndio nasikiaga, gari ilichotwa, wamekuja wamechukua viti or something like that. Of course there are reasons why that happens. But I remember I consistently made my payments. I was supposed to finish within 4 years. I finished within 2.5 years, because kichwa ngumu yangu, I think interest rate iliongezeka na 1%, nikasema munaongezea aje, nikalipa yote mara moja. Then I went through liquidity problems, which is another thing. If you have something that you have consistently been working with, ujidushe kichwa ngumu tuseme wacha nilipe yote. Then I went through liquidity issues, and then of course my business suffered. But then this leading to the question, what is the biggest misconception that not just creators, but people might have about walking into a bank to ask for a loan, other than kuchotwa?
Okay, thank you for that. And I like the start off, because that is a very good example that you've given us. Today, commercial banks do not operate the way we used to operate 10 years ago, because the environment has changed. The market has also changed. So everything has basically shifted. So today, in my understanding, the biggest misconception is people tend to misconceive the fact that you cannot get a loan without having security. So I think that's, for me, is the biggest misconception, that you must have security for you to be able to get any credit facility from the bank. However, the reality is normally banks do not lend to security. So security is just to give us some comfort that in the unlikely event that things don't work out as expected and you are totally unable to pay the facility, then security becomes a fallback. The way facilities have been structured nowadays, and especially in context to the creative financing, we are able to finance based on the cash flows. So we basically do what we call cash flow lending. So we're able to establish how are you able to generate your money. Ken spoke about creative being a business enterprise. So as long as you're able to demonstrate that you are creative, whether it's content creation, whether it's music, whether it's filming, whether it's fashion design, as long as you're able to demonstrate that you are making money, we'll be able to structure the facility to match how the receivables are coming in, or rather how the cash flows are trickling in. So that is the first misconception. The other common misconception is banks do not understand creative or creative financing. Yeah, and basically we are here to be able to demystify that creative in itself is a business. So the same way you lend to any other business enterprise, that's the same way we'll be able to treat the creatives. I hope that basically provides clarity on the misconceptions that today we have.
Oh yes, and I can't really say that I would blame the financial institutions for not, or rather for choosing to say that they do not understand creatives in some cases, because even in the creative spaces there has been a very complicated relationship between creatives and finances. So that is very understandable. And, taking, us back now to the relationship between creatives and finances. Maureen, I am a creator. I have irregular income. I do not know when I'm going to get money. Money comes, I plan for it for the next 6 months because I don't know when I'm going to earn next. So how are you advising me with this money towards pension or investment? And still, I need to secure my continuity on a day-to-day.
So what we basically do is we are believers of you start small and grow big. So why I'm here today, and the reason as to why we exist, is because this platform that we create for you, vile unasema, I don't know when next I'm going to get money. It is my job. My job, when you're part and parcel of the club, it is my job to give you a platform. It is my job, for instance, there was Kalasha. We were part and parcel of Kalasha. Not because we are pension people, we can tap into that. Why did we tap into that? Because, like I've told you, we are in Eastern Central Africa. So it is for me to, first of all, teach you how you can have a consistent income. And teaching you is by giving you an opportunity or tapping into the right people. For example, you are a creative. I've watched so many of your shows. And then now, tuseme hiyo part ya mambo za production nini inaenda ikikuwa chini. It is up to me to also see akina Kansime wanafanya nini Uganda and give you that platform. Because there's a particular kind of way or content that you create here yenye inafika mahali nika ceiling watu wanasema hiyo tumezoea. So what we do, we just adjust the style of how you're doing things and ensure that hiyo yenye unaogopa yenye haiko consistent tunakucreatea mahali yenye unaweza kuwa una tap into it. And for you to be able to put your, when people hear pension, they think it's a large amount of money. Do you know, like for students, if you save maybe 50 shillings a day, or even like our bare minimum is always 500, okay? So if you save 500 for your pension, we have a scheme called Taifa. You can...
That's 500 a month?
Yeah, 500 a month.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
Sorry, 500 a month. This money accrues interest at the end of the year. That's why we normally have AGMs and we call matters interest. And then there are also ways in which this money that you're keeping, you don't have to wait until you're old to 60. So we have different schemes. For example, these politicians, the governors, the MCAs, they only have a 1-term, 5 years.
Mukokadi?
Shughuli mwecheche.
Mukokadi?
I hope so.
Confirm too.
Perfect. So we're gonna a period. They serve in the office for only 5 years. Okay. We don't have to wait for them to get old. We give them something called gratuity. So gratuity is money that you come and pick when your contract ends and you get it. So we have a scheme, Taifa. You don't have to wait until you're old. So you can say, I'm a creative. By this time, I want to buy my camera. I want to have ABCD for my people. So I'll put it until this particular time. We have a financial asset manager as well in our organization. So you decide, okay, this money that I'm putting, it is accruing this, it is going to go here, and it's a whole cycle. So it is indeed possible for you to have your pension and still continue with the creative and have some small money to do ABCD things that you do. It's all a matter of planning.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right. And I like that. Going back to you, Kenneth, you are being very audacious to give me money as an artist, as a creative. You're being very audacious. You're being very trusting. Beyond giving me this money as a creative. Again, I say because there are many personalities in the content creation space, or rather in the creative space, there are many personalities to contend with. But beyond this money, are you giving me any other non-financial support, like membership or business training alongside the funding? Ama ni kukuja, napewa check, mina chomoka?
Hapana, huwezi chomoka tu hivyo. We usually offer something called post-investment support, especially for these big ticket sizes amounts that people have qualified for. We usually come in, have discussions, understand your day-to-day as a creative enterprise. What do you do on a day-to-day basis? Do you have an accounting person? Do you have a legal person? Or do you outsource these items? Are you looking to scale up? What are your scaling plans? So we are very much involved in the businesses that we lend to, the creative businesses that we lend to. You might find that someone is in the film industry, they are looking, we have given them a facility, but they need some time between production, the making, the production, the editing, until the release. So we tailor-make your contract, that facility, so that the repayments coincide with when your revenues start to come in. Yeah, so post-investment support is usually very key and parcel of the investment that we do to you. Yeah.
Okay, probably a last question to you. Yeah. If I walk into Hiva Fund today, what's the one thing I must bring to make sure I live with a check? And if I do not qualify, for that check, what is one of the reasons why I will have been rejected, and how can I fix it before applying?
Just what I mentioned earlier, in order to get your foot through the door and we have had a discussion about your creative enterprise. A creative has separated their art and the business side of it. We know sometimes we have dealt with creatives, you are focused so much on the art, sometimes you forget it is a business, that you're making money from the art. So you have separated the art and the business so that we are having a discussion about the business. I am not looking at a statement, especially an M-Pesa statement. The M-Pesa guys were here. You have separated your personal M-Pesa. Maybe you have opened up a till or a pochi or have a second line, so that we are not looking at maybe betting apps. You have other expenses. We are looking purely on the creative enterprises. So money is coming in with clear incomes and clear expenditures so that we are not having long discussions. You're explaining where your money comes from, where you're spending it, and also if we are seeing that most creatives are having that issue, if you have not worked out with a check or a promise of a check, we have thoroughly advised you on what to do next. Yes.
Okay, all right, interesting. To you, Michael, it's something interesting that Kenneth is mentioning, yet I remember, I can only use examples that of course have been relevant to me and worked. I remember when I was applying for my loan, I was asked for my M-Pesa statement, and it was used to approve my loan for the facility. But now in this case, we are saying that now as a business, you should be able to separate that. And I say that knowing that very well. While I was seated here this morning, there is a piece of content I created, I think 2 months ago. Nimetumiwa tu text, nitume pesa wapi? Naandika namba ya pesa hapo hivyo, haya, ndio imeingia. And you see, that is the nature of how this space works sometimes. So are we saying then that if I come and I say, instead of walking in with my title deed, I walk in with my Instagram of 230,000 followers and say, ndio hii 230,000 followers, ndio hii M-Pesa statement, lakini sina business registration, does that mean now I won't be able to get my loan?
Okay, thank you. I think first is just to appreciate the fact that for you as a content creator, basically you are doing that so that you can be able to earn a living out of it. Yeah. So that's the starting point. That one, you are making money out of whatever activity that you are undertaking. So if you happen to you've created a content, you have 20,000, 40,000 likes, that does not necessarily materialize into you getting credit. Because for a financial institution, at NCBA will be important and keen to know how much money have you made out of those 40,000 likes. And then secondly, where does that money go to? Yeah? Whether it's M-Pesa, whether it's a bank account. Today banks are flexible enough to be able to accept M-Pesa documents that are supporting of any revenue, any money that you make. But more importantly, other than just having likes, our responsibility as a lender is also to ensure that we're able to journey with you all along. And how do we journey with you? Is by helping you also formalize your business, which we highly recommend you either register as a sole proprietor or as a business under business name or as a limited company. So that is important not only to the bank, but also to help you to be able to secure contracts and jobs with maybe other parties. Yeah. So we look at being able to help you establish your business so that is formalized, and also to be able to ensure that you have the necessary documentation. So we will work with you that journey to ensure that if there are licenses that are required, you have the licenses. And then the starting point for you to have an interaction with the bank will be you open a dedicated account, yeah? And that is why Ken has spoke about being able to separate what is personal finances and what is business finances. So we'll be able to open a bank account with you so that we can be able to see the transactions coming through. Then that will give you an automatic ticket for you to be able to secure a credit facility with NCBA.
Okay, probably then a last question to you is what future plans do you as NCBA have for the creator economy?
A very interesting question. You realize that NCBA is currently among the only banks that are relating to what creatives do. Yeah? And other than just providing credit, our mandate does not stop with the only advancing credit to the creators, but to help the creators nurture and grow their businesses. So we offer financial literacy under all angles in terms of having several seminars, workshops, and participating in the showcases that creatives have so that you can be able to enlighten the creatives around, one, the discipline on being able to maintain proper financial records. Secondly, being able to invest. Thirdly, being able to save. Fourth, being able to secure your future by getting an insurance, because realize that if anything goes haywire, a fallback will always be an insurance. But more importantly is today we've been able to collaborate and form a financial ecosystem through Elevate. Elevate basically is a program where the creatives and the young guys are able to enroll into that program so that they can be able to get their gig more professionalized, for lack of a better word, so that it's seen to be a profession as opposed to just, a side gig or something like that. And then other than that, we also create marketing opportunities for the creators as they scale up their businesses. So banking is about meeting the gap between the ones who have surplus credit and those who don't have. So basically the financial intermediary role, that is the role that we play, and we'll be happy to be able to see the creatives move to the next level, because I believe, and NCBA, we believe that creative is the next big thing. Thank you.
All right, okay. Final question to you, Maureen. I'm a 25-year-old creator and I'm earning between 50,000 to 100,000 per month. Where should I start investing?
Okay, that's a very amazing question. So, at the Pensions Club International, first of all, we have different cadres, chapters, depending, so like I told you, we start from the smallest, going all the way up. So when you come, first things first, we teach you, we normally have monthly forums. Every month we have monthly forums. So in every monthly forum, we bring speakers, depending with our audience. Like for this month, and the reason as to why I was here is because it's going to be a youth one. So we bring speakers who are able to enlighten you on matters finance. And within, just like I told you, we have a subsidiary known as SIPFAM. So SIPFAM buys bonds. SIPFAM does hizo mambo za gold, vitu kama hizo. Si forex, forex.
Trading,
yes,
forex.
Yes, and why and why we are very attractive is because, you see, when you're dealing with older persons, remember, these are people ambao wamemaliza time yao kufanya kile wanafanya. So the investment planning or training that we give to them is where you don't need to spend a lot, but you gain, you gain out of it. So it also applies to the creatives. Let me tell you guys, ukwe msanii, na uko na pesa, ama una pesa, no one cares. They like you during that time. It's like kama msimu, okay? So when you're that 20 years old, my work is to put you in a platform that you'll be properly advised in secured investments. You see, many people, you remember Kwel? Nakumbuka mambo ya Kwel? Watu walienda wakanini Kwel? You see, these pyramid schemes have become so many. And we're in the world of information. Wengine walienda wakakota ka million, and you are told money is going to come in and whatnot. So I'm able to enlighten you with secure and firm investment plans that will assist you as a 20-year-old, as a 10-year-old, as a 30-year-old, as a 60-year-old. And just for you to be able to access this, for me, we don't give loans, but for you to be part and parcel of this, to personalize, like for the students, you pay 500 shillings for a whole year. And for us who are adults, we pay 2,000, and we renew with 1,000 for a year. Okay? And I'm able to tell you, we have partners also. Kina Quickmart, Nani, when you have the card, you get discounts. This discounts is save as you spend. So in the long run, you find that that money that you're having, you already know I'm going to put it here, or I'm going to put it here, or I'm not going to put it here. Because why? Of the level of exposure. So our club is for exposing and educating and enlightening, basically, on where you need to go. Thank you.
Oh, nice. Leo nimepigiwa pitches zingine tamu. Nimeingia box. All right. One quick question, please. Okay. Hey. Hawa watu wawili iko shida. Nimeambiwa no questions. I keep pole. Okay. Quickly. Wame insist. Pole.
Pole, Martin. One, sorry. Okay. Hi, my name is Greg. This question is, I have two questions. Okay. Well, so my first question is to Kenneth. So, kuna kitu you said that I don't think people caught. We glossed over it very quickly. You talked about giving loans and grants. Please distinguish those two because they don't mean the same thing. Yes. And if I am applying for a loan, how do you decide whether, if I come to you, I'm applying for X, whether it's a loan or a grant, how do you decide this is worth investing as a loan or giving me a grant? So that's for you. Maureen, thank you so much. What you do is very, very important. I'm a big proponent for people preparing for the future. Please talk about the sandwich generation where ulikuwa msanii, you're doing very well, you made your good money, and then ukaisha fashion. People are no longer buying from you, you're no longer popular. But at that point in time, you have a young family you're raising, and in our African context, you're also supporting your elderly parents who did not have the pension plan, and what that looks like. Asante sana.
Thank you.
Even for just
a microsecond. Okay, I'll start a very quick fire. Okay, so I want to kind of just, in reference to the title we have there, how creators can access capital, credit, and investment to scale. I want to bring this point to like two levels. One, for the people here, right? A lot of what we've talked about involves having an established enterprise. What do startups do? What do people who don't have a history of separating finances? They don't have finances, right? We're talking about how do you get started if you want to start a creative enterprise. Where do you come in that pipeline? This is for you too. You're doing wonderful work. Thank you so much. But for these two people here, how do you help these guys get started? I'm saying this because I started a company, and to start that company, my finances were separate. They were all empty. But when I went and said, this is what I have, and here's my 20 years of previous business, I got answers of no across the board. Second thing, and this is more on policy, who designs these products? Because when it comes to creative, the asset is not my revenue. The asset is the thing I create. So when he said he has 230,000 followers, and you say, that's not what I'm looking for revenue. But for him to monetize that, he needs money. So is the asset, if you go to someone who says, I have land and I want to build a farm, and you say, yeah, but where's your farm? It kind of defeats the point of, I need the money to build the farm. You're asking me for the chicken, and I'm asking you for an egg. So it's the question of who designs the policies. How can we get involved in helping design policies that actually support creatives that want to start and build something and scale it? Quick fire.
All right, please.
Yeah, maybe I can start with hopefully answering Greg. I can answer you as well. A loan ni deni, na deni lazima ilipwe. I think that is a major difference. Yes, a grant is money that you are given to start. It is not repaid, but you have to report how you have spent that grant. So through our Sanara program, those who qualify for the grant have been taken through the business training, how to separate their finances, how to acquire licenses, things of that nature. We have various, depending on the art form that you are having as a creative, we have various classes, various programs throughout the country. We have partnered with Baraza Media Lab, we have partnered with Arts Go Down Center, we have partnered with Sandbox. So we are using all these collaborations to have trainings, and then once you complete the Sanara program, unfortunately, the grant is for the young women, boy child, poleni. But we will improve on that. Yes. On the policies, especially I can speak on one product, the event financing product. We actually had a discussion with the musicians, the event organizers in the country before we put out that program. We sat down with people who put down the DJs, event organizers, club promoters, what have you. We discussed how much the revenue they are having, how much money they need to for the loan, because now they are looking for financing to set up an event. So for that product in particular, we came to a consensus. You must have had 3 successful prior events. You have ticketing, especially on platforms such as MOOC or the other one is called, I'm sorry, I've forgotten the other, Ticket Sasa, but especially now where MOOC is the most popular. So we even had the discussion with MOOC. So MOOC is also in the conversation. MOOC has all your data with your consent provided to us. You show you have 3 successful events, and then we finance 70% of those ticket sales. So this was actually part of the conversation when we were designing that product. Hopefully I'm answered all the questions.
Okay, do you have anything to add, Michael?
Maybe just a quick addition to that is whenever we come up with products, I think I want to make reference to the ones that NCB has developed over the last couple of months. We did it in collaboration with Eva, as I had earlier indicated, because they understand the industry better. So even in terms of policy formulation, whichever policy today that apply to the products that we have in NCBA, they basically mirror what Eva have. But more importantly for the startups, we always believe in starting small. So for our startup financing, startup incubator financing, we are lending up to a maximum of 100K for a start at 9%, which Ken has spoken to. So today, if you go to any NCBA and you want startup incubator financing, you'll be given up to 100,000, payable over a period of 6 months at an interest of 9%. The reason why we are doing that is so that you can be able to grow. As your business grows, then you're able to scale you, move you from the startup incubator financing to the other products that cut across. Otherwise, I think, thank you for that input, and we keep on evolving. So banks do not remain in the same position. Through the various inputs that we get with stakeholders, including the input from this forum, we're able to look at how do we fine-tune and make it better. Thank you.
All right, a big round of applause to our panelists for today. had something more to add? Oh, sorry.
Yeah, he asked me something about the sandwich generation.
Oh, yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you something. Even in love, it starts with you. When you love yourself, then you're able to teach this other person how they can love you. True or false? So, yes, you're here, you have a family, you want to send black tax, unaogopa laana watu wako wa village wa kuvisit. Guys, can I tell you something? Even when you're gone, they will still be in existence. So what we do in our space is we teach you two things. Like I told you, how you can invest and grow your money, or other ways that you can also support your people. But all I'll say is you cherish your today. There's something I'm trying to itakuja, but it starts with you. And you cannot please everybody. When you think about it, I'll be very brief. When you think about it, when you have money, when you look nice, you have people around you. Who doesn't want a man with a nice car? Who doesn't want, ulisikia ile mambo ya daktari wetu? You heard what the wife said? Everyone wants that, right? But when you're gone, these people will still exist. But you only have you, and you can only live within you. Ukichizi, watasema, unaona, alifanya, alikuwa. So, hizo mambo mingi zisiwape stress. Inaanza na wewe. Ukitosheka, ndio unaweza kushare. Thank you so much, and it's very nice to be here.
All right, thank you very much. All right. So